And hello, and welcome to Bullet Journaling for Chaos Gremlins. This is our third episode. I'm going to shut off the timer, and I have a new setup this time. I thought that, actually, I should move that over just a little bit. Right, I thought that it might be easier to see what the hell I was doing, right, if I flipped the camera. So we're gonna try that this time. You can see all my junk in my basket there. Well, that's what Chaos Gremlins are about, right? So, so today I promised that I would show you guys a bunch of layouts that I've been doing for writers specifically. So that's because when I started doing this, I said, I'm going to start with the beginning of my journal, and I'm going to work from there. And when I'm done showing you what I've done and explaining why I did it that way, then I was going to progress to working on the journal during these streams, right? So we're at the November journal, since I've basically been doing it a month at a time per episode. And in November, I, of course, did Game of Tomes. So that means that I had everything set up for writing. So there is a lot of stuff in there that is specifically for writers. Also, one thing that I can show you today is what you can do with dollar store level stickers. Like, you don't have to spend a whole bunch of money on expensive washi tapes and sorry, excuse me, and expensive stickers at journal supply places if you don't want to. The stuff that I got here is brush pens, like they're paint pens, right? And stickers that I got at the dollar store. So let's get this set up. And look at that. We opened perfectly to the right page. This is my November calendar. My theme that I decided on was fairies and zombies. I had a real hard time. Okay, what I wanted when I set this up, right? When I initially had this in my brain, was that I wanted really funky, creepy zombie stickers and sort of, that finer art fairy stuff like you get on cards in the metaphysical shop. But what I found was a packet of dollar store fairy tale laser stickers and a pack of Minecraft stickers from Walmart. And I also, Halloween stickers that sometimes were appropriate and sometimes were not. And that is, that's what I found to do my Zombies and Fairies stream with, or theme with. So I ended up with a lot of stuff that was in pink and green as kind of the primary colors, with purple as kind of a subsidiary color. And I decided to go with that as kind of a color theme. By this time, I had invested in a roll of washi tape. You don't have to use them, but basically this is the roll I got. Where is it here? For this, so you can see it in the camera. Okay, yeah. So other than there's a couple of shiny things in here that weren't in the original packet, but I got this from Staples. And this, or not Staples, Michael's. And this was the first actual expensive purchase that I made. This was almost $30 Canadian. But it's actually quite a value for the washi tapes. Now, if you're wondering, what the hell is washi tape? Because I was wondering that when I was reading about it or watching these journals. Washi tape is basically fancy masking tape, right? It's it works just like masking tape. It has about the same adhesiveness, so it can be moved around if need be, if it doesn't get too dirty. And but it makes these pretty designs, right? So you can use it as part of your decorating. I understand this is even used in kintsugi art now, which is something that I just found out yesterday because I was looking for a kintsugi themed washi tape and found out that you could put these in your kintsugi art. So that's kind of fun. So I went with, you can kind of barely see it in there, but this washi tape here, because it had the most green and pink in it. These butterflies I had lying around, I'd purchased them. They're also dollar store stickers. This shiny craft paper is also stuff that I got in a pack from the dollar store. I had that lying around from Christmas crafting supplies that I'd bought for my grandkids last year. Hey, Magpie, good to see you. Right, so this is where I started a format here. So this was notes, and I said, don't forget to schedule results stream in December, right? Because the last result stream is in December, and I wrote that in when I was putting in where I was putting the result streams. This is my buy this shit note thing, and I got this idea. I forget who I was watching. It was not Joshi Corin. It was someone else who, let me see, Plan with Eva, maybe? But she had this idea of put sticky notes, and then I saw a video with Joshi Corin after that where she had done the same thing. But basically the idea is you put sticky notes in where you don't want to have a bunch of permanent stuff that you crossed out, like actually in your journal, or where you might need more room. And this particular idea, okay, the idea of the sticky note itself I got from Plan with Eva, but what the content was I got from Joshi Corin. What she does is she takes a sticky note and she puts it at the very beginning of her journal, right? So that it's like the first thing that she opens to, and it's right there, and it's her shopping list, right? Now, I don't tend to manage the general household grocery shopping. That is something that Aaron and Steve take on. But as a result, shit that I need often doesn't get purchased for a long time because I don't think to tell them about it, right? So that's what this is for. This is a list of things that I want that I then add to their shopping list. And we finally figured out a system that works. I passed this on to them the night before they go shopping, so Thursday night, and then they get whatever they can on the list. And this is part of a digital sticker set, sweary journal stickers that Aaron got for me on, I'm pretty sure, Etsy. Right, and there's a whole bunch of these sweary stickers. You will start to see them now as they appear here in this particular month. Isn't this Fairy Tale Castle cute? That was part of the dollar store fairy tale stickers. These are here because I started writing shit on the wrong date in the wrong spot, and that is covering up the mistakes. So there's a hint for covering up mistakes. You can use stickers, and then the mistakes aren't noticed. Another thing you can do is cut out white sticker paper if you've got a white themed colored paper in your journal and paste it over top, and it's hard to see. You can also use whiteout, right? My whiteout is in bad shape, and I probably should get some new stuff and add that to my list. But these are, things that you can do to cover up your mistakes. These are also dollar store stickers. So by dollar store stickers, I mean the pack cost me $1. That's what it cost me. right? And they're obviously designed to look like Scrabble tiles. Oh. I hope I didn't just like get a whole bunch of, it said connecting to the chat, so I'm hoping I didn't just blank out there. But these are dollar store Scrabble panel stickers. I chose, I just liked them, and I'd had them from before, and I thought this is the month I'm doing writing and Game of Tones, so it makes sense to do the Scrabble tiles as my theme. Yeah, I like them too, the Scrabble tile looking ones. They make me happy. Oh, this is also a mistake that I covered up with a piece of washi tape. Because I'd also gotten a smaller set of washi tape, this one with constellations on it. Hard to see there, but I wonder if I can... I'm learning my new angle and it's difficult. Yeah, there we go. You can see the constellations there. All right. Good job on the 44 words, James. One thing, again, I learned, if you're going to put in like bubbly, puffy stickers like this, it adds a lot of bulk to your journal. It makes it very thick and it may not close properly. So in the future, I will not be buying puffy stickers for my journal. And actually, that means I'm going to have to change some of my plans because I have some puffy stickers that I'm not going to be able to use. Okay, but now I made this little tab here out of washi tape so that I could find the beginning of my November. This is my extra credit stuff here. I didn't do a lot of it this month. I think I told you guys that before, that I didn't do a lot of my extra credit during November because I was just too busy. But I did do some of it, right? For relationships, do something whimsical. For domestic, get rid of my old clothes. Zombies and fairies, I was thinking kind of like life and death, right? You know, as a kind of a balance. So it was like, get rid of shit that is like just, that has outlived its usefulness, right? For zombies, right? And for fairies, it was like, you know, whimsical and whatever, like donate to an LGBTQ plus charity, which I did not do. I didn't have any money. End a bad habit, quit smoking. This was a good idea. Okay, so people said to me, why are you trying to quit smoking in the middle of Game of Tones? Like, aren't you insane? Yes, that is insane. Game of Tones is a lot of pressure. Sleep is not great. Concentration is required, right? And I wasn't doing any of that, right? Because I was trying to quit. But it was a good thing that I had decided to do that because I order tobacco through the mail, or I have traditionally, and that's where I get most of it. It ends up being a little cheaper that way, right? So I did that, and then there was a mail lockout. They issued a strike notice and were locked out by the company, and they're still not back to work, although now they're legislating them back to work. Don't get me wrong, I'm on the labor union side. They keep legislating the mail back to work, and they keep losing their pensions, and the wages are not keeping pace with expenses. And if we do not support our labor unions, in my personal opinion, yeah, right, that's, you know, I'm on their side, is the point. But it was a good thing that I had decided that I was going to try to quit. I've not entirely quit. I have significantly cut down, right? And basically my goal was get to a point where I could have like one cigar a day, right? And it could be a little cigar or a bigger cigar, but I only get one, and I don't have to have one, but I could have one. And that's kind of where I am. So, you know, I did the thing. So, okay, this is my big journaling pages. I kept them pretty simple this time. The thing here is that I put in some of these sweary stickers, in part because they are pink, right? But I like them, you know. You can get them. I'll link them in the video description when I post this on YouTube. This one says, just over here trying to get my shit together. Right? This one says, fuck off. I mean, good morning. This one says, warning, I have no fucking filter. This one says, fueled by caffeine and fucking chaos. This one says, stay fucking positive. This one says, bad bitches have bad days too. And this one says, and there goes the last fuck I gave. I think it's hilarious. Okay, I'm sorry. That's why I think it's funny. So this time I needed like a little less room here. I had like half a page, so I decided to do my adulteress game a little differently, and I made it smaller because I wanted to. Basically, what I decided to do is that I was going to use the lines, right, as like half of them as opposed to the whole thing, and I ended up with half a page worth here. As you can see, I did not do nearly as well on this month as I have in previous months because I was writing most of the month. Yes. Okay. My mood tracker, I decided to do a sticker art piece. There's the zombie side, there's the fairies side. I thought the white butterfly kind of tied it all together. I kept with my generally similar mood tracker, except that I added a new category, dissociating, because I, am more aware of when I'm doing that now. So I wanted to keep track of that because sometimes I really don't know how I feel about things, right? Because I'm kind of in a place where I'm disconnected from it for various reasons. My mood is always Minecraft skeleton. Yeah, 100%. My mood is often creeper. I'm going to go in and just be a chaos gremlin and create problems. Yes. I don't mean to, but yes. This came from a packet. Let me see here. You know what? We'll do this so that, again, that stuff's personal. I don't really want people to read it, but I got this from Michaels. Happy Planner is a sort of if you're looking to bullet journal, but you don't know where to start, or if you like ring journals, you may want to start with a Happy Planner journal. They come pre-made, except that they don't, it's like they have the dates and things, right? And like a future log, monthly calendar, stuff like that. Only they don't decorate it, right? But they sell these stickers that are designed for use with their planners. They also come in ring binders, so you can move the pages around, like the Kids Are Asleep was discussing earlier, right? Like a couple episodes ago. And at any rate, these are kind of fun. Yeah, Dragon Magpie rattles ominously the, Minecraft skeleton mood. Nova says, I've been feeling Minecraft creeper a lot lately. Yeah. And hi, Flub, good to see you. So, anyway, this is kind of designed with, sort of holidays, right? Like, there's stuff in here for New Year's and a winter theme, which I intended to use for January, but did not. I may yet use it for February. We'll see. Right? Valentine's Day stuff. Valentine's Day into St. Patrick's Day. Right? I'm more interested in the rainbows than anything in here, but they're cool. Right? Then we go into Easter. There's plenty I'm going to be using in the Easter stuff because it's, rabbits and bloom where you're planted, right? Which is kind of a theme that I'm going to go with later in the year, though, for that one. Right? But, right, and then it's got stuff for summer, They've included, of course, American holidays, but, I've used some of that stuff for other things, but obviously we don't celebrate the 4th of July here in Canada, so some of that's going to get unused. That's okay, like this page. But I've used the stars and other themes and, fireworks for New Year's and, a hot dog for food planner things, stuff like that, right? Okay, I say food planner, it's more like food log. I don't plan what I eat, but I'm trying to keep track of it because I am prone to forgetting to eat. So, more stuff for food planning, right? Anyway, I use some of you'll see a lot of these in this November theme. I would have used them in October, but I did not have them for October, right? There's some back to school stuff. You can see I used a lot of this here. Right, and then there was stuff but this is where all that came from, right? So anyway, you get the idea. I think this sticker book costs $12 at Michael's, somewhere in that neighborhood. I just started using stuff for this one for my... Come on, you. Having trouble figuring out how to show it to you, but I just started using some of this stuff for my January theme, so. Anyway. It's also got things like to-do, priorities, don't forget this, that kind of stuff, which it can be useful depending on your setup. And hello, Satrium. Also, I love the creeper sticker there. Bagpie, that's great. Alright, so this is my mood and sleep tracker. Remember, I said that this goes with this mood log and sleep tracker. It goes with my mood circle there, right? As you can see, I was mostly pretty happy in November. Like, that's all the pink is happy, right? But I also got overstimmed and I got a little pissed off here and there. And I was really tired at the beginning of the month because I was sick, stuff like that. Anyway, yeah. Mood log and sleep tracker, my essential thing that I do. This is for mindfulness meditation, but as you can see, I did not do that nearly enough in November. But this is all stuff that, keeps track of why I might have been feeling a certain way. And clearly I was really tired because I failed to fill out the 30th. I thought about going back to my log and trying to figure out, like my daily log and find out if there should have been anything in there that I should have put. And I decided not to because, you know what? As I said last time that I got from a health channel, the journal represents what is, okay? It's not what you want it to be. So I missed a day. Oh, well, right? And then, of course, I had a little room at the end of the pages, so I used fairy tales. This is a quote about fairy tales, but these were quotes that related to the theme that were inspirational, right? This sticker here also is covering a mistake. It looks like an intentional decoration, right? Ha! No, I made a mess. I scribbled while, and I had to cover it up. So that's how I did it. But yeah. Meds tracker. I was a good girl. I took my meds. Food tracker. I initially taped in backwards and decided not to care and just kept working with it. And again, this is a cutout from another page in the back of the journal that's been literally scotch taped in. I probably should have, it's starting to come a little loose, and I probably should have reinforced it with some washi tape, but I didn't, and I'm almost done this journal now, so I don't really care. I'm going to leave it. Now, this is something I tried that did not work. Okay, so this is, again, experiments, right? My exercise tracker. You'll remember my exercise tracker. Now, if those of you who were here for Game of Tones, you'll remember that I was running an exercise challenge during the course of the month, right? And the challenge was basically move your body every day. I did that, and I'll show you that tracker later, but I did not necessarily do the stuff that every day that I would qualify as exercise. This is a don't break the chain format, which means that I have to change color every time there was a day that I did not do it, right? So as you can see, I changed colors 3 times. So there were a few days where I did not do like weights or an exercise bike or something that, would be more formal exercise. I still was active. I still did 30 days of the exercise challenge. It might have been doing the dishes, right? But I did do it. These came from that fall sticker book that I talked about last time, the one that was basically the feature in October. And I had a few left over, so I used them there. And that's from the sweary sticker package that I printed out for myself. So, from the stuff that Aaron gave me. Now, this idea that didn't work in this particular state is like layered notes, right? And you layer them so that you're maximizing the room. These were also all cutouts from another page in the journal. And what my idea was to, wherever it had an O for other, right, I would write down what I did that day as an alternate exercise, right? And, was it physical enough to qualify as actual exercise, right? Like raking and jumping in leaves. I did that for about an hour, right? That qualifies. So I made a note of it, but I just didn't end up filling it out for the rest of it. So, you live and learn, right? This is that green and pink washi tape that I picked to go with the palette. And you'll notice that I did my Dutch door cutouts again here so that I could find this with my fingers, all my trackers on the side. But I didn't have a washi tape that I thought was suitable at the time. I added this stuff later. I had not bought this washi tape yet. So I made my own little side design there. Okay, productivity tracker. And this is another thing that I did not find that worked, okay? Right? Remember my scale here, it's the same as the last time, right? Black is I did fuck all. Hello, we have a new follower. Strixline, hey! Thank you for following Game of Tones. Good to see you. Hello. Hello. I wave this way. Yeah, so, because I swear a lot and I find the sweary stuff funny, right? So, yeah. Did fuck all, got off my ass, moved my ass, did lots of shit, and made the world my bitch. I did a lot of making the world my bitch in November to the point where I had to come up with different stickers because I ran out of the coffee cups that I intended to use. I've definitely been following the whole time. Nothing to see here. How did this happen? I don't know. I just never got around to it. Or, Twitch possibly decided to think for you and unfollowed you. It's been known to do that. Right, so, but good to see you. Thank you for the follow. Okay, this is the part that did not work. What I wanted to do was get a better idea of how I was being productive. I'm like, okay, so I got a green dot. I got a lot of green dots. I tend to think I'm more productive than not. So in what way am I being productive? What qualifies as productive to me, right? So this is my attempt to track that. I made categories. And okay, so the obvious should be apparent here. One of my categories was Game of Tones, and of course that is the thing that I primarily did in November. Go figure, right? How much of my own writing that was separate of Game of Tones did I do? Well, less of that, right? Audiobook, I did none because I got sick at the beginning of the month and my voice has just now recovered where I feel I can start reading it again. But for a while there, it was not, it was really rough. I had to keep clearing my throat. I was like cracking out about halfway through the chapter. Not good. So I decided to, do it right. And I waited. So I'm back at it. I'm going to get back at it now. Okay, I'm not back at it yet, but I'm going to get back at it in the next few days. So, right. Domestic stuff I was much more productive with. I did like a lot of housework and family. So I do housework. I clean. You can see it. There's the evidence. See all the yellow? That means I cleaned something. So there you go. Right. And the orange is for spending time with the family, which I actually did pretty well at in the middle of November, which I'm proud of because previously November has been like, all work, no play, and the family goes, "Who the fuck are you?" when I come out of my room, right? You know? But this time I was much better at touching base with the family. So, here's my self-made self-care bingo. At this point, I realized that my first month of like total success of self-care bingo and filling up almost the whole thing was a fluke. And I'm actually less likely, I should give myself a reward for actually achieving a row, right? Which I did here. So, that's when I decided to do that. I did not give myself the sticker for this, but this is where I figured out that I should get a sticker for getting a bingo because, yeah, right. I thought when I started this, because I filled out all but one square, right? I thought, okay, so self-care bingo, I should give myself a sticker if I do it all, right? But I learned over the next couple of months that's not the case. So I guess my big message for this part, if you're not looking at writing trackers, is be willing to experiment and change your plan if something you're doing isn't working for you. That's kind of the point. Because obviously I started doing that a lot here. There's my triggers log, filled it out. Hygiene log, very important to keep track of in November. I'm very prone to hyperfocus, and I often get like distracted and go, "Oh dear, it's been a week since I took a shower." Right? You notice I tried to balance like the fairy tale element stuff here with the, zombie element there, and I'm still using the Scrabble tiles as notes. I made another tab here. I have another thing I have learned in my experiments is that paper tabs don't work for me. I need to make them more solid. However, my hubby has provided something for me, which is really useful. He thought of it, I did not, but I'm going to use it because he's smart. So, okay, this is my daily log. And I started putting in the sweary stickers when I did not fill out the whole log. There's my little title page, Fairies and Zombies. Or zombies and fairies, either way. So, the little eyes came from the Happy Planner book. These guys, you'll notice, I said those leaves would be back. So those came from the Happy Planner book. The, dead fall leaves, which I alternated with the sparkly flowers. I feel that, Mr. Swain. Yeah. Yeah. I love these sweary stickers. Like I said, I will provide the links to where you can buy them in the video description when I put this on YouTube, and probably in the description on the VOD too. So, yeah. I love these so much. I think they're so fun. And I alternated, okay, so I framed it. Obviously, this is another Dutch door setup, right? Because this doesn't come all the way here, and it's designed so that it fits within the frame of the washi tape, which is the green and pink. And then I alternated whether I wrote in green and pink in the daily log. And then, daily log, if this is the first episode you're watching, this is my daily log is basically a flow of consciousness. This is what happened today. I don't pay any attention to paragraphs or grammar. I don't censor myself. I just write. This is what happened today, which is a new thing for me because my whole life I wanted to write about anything but my own life. You cannot see this sticker, but I love this sticker so much. I'm going to make it bigger. I'm going to print it out bigger in the future. But it's from the sweary stickers, and it says, I don't need... Okay, what does it say here? I can't even read it. Yeah. I don't need an inspirational quote. I need some fucking coffee. That's what it says. Love it. This one, some people ride the crazy train. I drive that motherfucker. Yeah, room for notes. Yeah, when you're dead inside, but there's too much shit to do. I love it. I just think it's hilarious. Here I put a little compliment keeper. So because I had some extra space at the end of the month, so if somebody paid me a compliment, I wrote it down and I stuck it in there. I have since taken that and put it in a little book that Moon got for me ages ago with positive messages in it. Yeah, Sparkle says some people like to say I drive the crazy train. No, I derailed it. Exactly. Okay, so this is again my reinvention of the wheel where I have important stuff, but this system is now a thing that I'm doing, which is post-it notes under the areas and stuff that's more permanent. This again came from the sweary sticker packs, right? Important shit, right? And I printed that out on sticker paper and put it in for myself. Little humor for myself. Oh shit, was that today? I say that a lot. So, divided it into categories. I'm kind of using this format in a month layout now. To do. This is general stuff to do. As you can tell, some of it was filled out, some of it was not. I was trying to go for, like, I initially had blue post-it notes, and then I got a pack of post-it notes over the course of the month that had green and pink, which more suited my theme colors. So as I was taking off one, I was replacing it with, the blue ones, I was replacing it with the green ones. So I actually did quite a lot that you don't see on here because I took it off and replaced it. Daily wins and gratitude log. I'm finding this like really helpful to me in terms of keeping track of, I actually did accomplish something in the day and it's improving my overall outlook. And then I have, inspirational quotes there that I found that suited my theme. All right. Now we're going to get into the writing trackers. And this is what I promised, this stuff for writers. So this was my layout for Game of Tomes. And of course I used war as my title because, it's the word war. That's the premise behind the event in November for those who play Game of Tomes, right? So, and Jamie had bought me a little pack of stickers that had little green army men as the theme and said, here, you can use this for November. So that's what gave me the idea, right? This is basically a version of Lady Winter's goal tracker, where you plan out how many words per day you have to do to get your goal, right? And she originally based it on trackers that I know came from National Novel Writing Month. And, you have to do 1,667 words a day in order to reach a goal of 50,000 words by the end of the month. Well, I wanted to do a big goal this month because I knew that my ability to do it was getting better, right? So my goal was 250,000 words according to the Game of Tomes bot. That actually is 300,000 words because of the way we are weighting the value of words past a certain point. Like if you write 100,000 words, then after that, your words only count for 75% of their value. So 4 words for every 3, right? Or 3 words for every 4 is what it counts for. Right? After 250,000 words, your words count for 50% of their value. So you have to write 2 words to get credit for 1. And then after 500,000 words, your words count for 25% of their value. You have to write 4 words to get 1. Right? And the reason why we did that is because there are some people who just explode the bell curve, and the game results depended far too much on who they chose to support. And that was no fun for anyone. So we rethought it and started, applying a handicap, basically. Right? So I knew that in order to get 250,000 words in the bot, I would have to actually write 300,000 words. So I planned this out according to the monthly goals and then stayed ahead of it. And I have to say, this worked spectacularly well for me. I was, constantly double checking the standard and making sure that I was ahead of the game, and I stayed really ahead of the game all month, right? I actually totaled out to 317,000 and change, and on the bot, which is actually 435,000 words in actual word value, right? So this was, I highly recommend this system to track, right? You write in what you need, where your total needs to be that day in order to get that goal by the end of the month. And then you write in what you actually achieved in the spot underneath it. Works like a dream. If you want your own version of this, we do provide this in a link that Lady Winter made that anybody can access and print out. It won't fit in this style of journal. That's why I chose to copy it out by hand and make my own theme based on that. But you can actually just get the tracker on an 8x11 piece of paper. And I gave myself a scratch and sniff sticker for each elimination period of every 6 days, because that's how we do it in Game of Tomes, if I stayed ahead. So you could do the same thing for if you stayed ahead of your goal all week, right? If you want to track it differently. Okay, now this was a cool idea. It's not my idea. I 100% give credit to Duo Chan fan came up with this and shared it with Sunny, who shared it with me. And basically, this is a grid graph system which tracks your writing projects based on, your own scale. This is green graph paper. You did not miss the Wigno challenge yet, James. Nope. Welcome back. Right? But this is green graph paper, and each square represents 100 words or equivalent. So these were the different projects that I had on the plate that I could have been working on during Game of Tomes, right? And for every 100 words or equivalent, I filled in a square. And I did it in the different rainbow colors to go with my stickers, right? So, as you can see, primarily what I did was editing prose. I really should have broken this category up into different projects, but I did not. As a result, I ran out of room, and I had to add a sticker over top, another piece of paper. But, I mean, that worked fine, right? If it works, don't matter, right? And how I did this is I attached these with double-sided tape, right? Which my double-sided tape was originally weather stripping tape, designed for putting plastic on your windows. I'm running out. I need to get more. But double-sided tape to do so that I didn't have to draw in the squares, which you could do as well. You could draw them in if you preferred, but I did not want to spend that kind of time, so I put in the graph paper. This is a rewards tracker, also made by Lady Winter. This is actually the tracker that she made, and I printed it out and glued it into my book again with, well, in this case glue, but then I added double-sided tape because it worked better, right? And this is, you set like an amount at which, whatever word's written, and then you get a reward at that point for yourself, and it's a way to keep you inspired and carrying on, right? This is something special that I did particularly for me, and I haven't filled out this last thing here, and I started over here and I should have started over there, but basically, yeah, I gotta go back and get the figures for that, but basically I was keeping track of what my Game of Tomes house was doing in the course of the month. And, it was to celebrate people's accomplishments and to keep track of where we are. We actually won this time, so I was very proud of us. It was really fun to kind of keep track of things as they went, who went where and, whose support we had and, all that sort of thing, right? So a lot of fun here. I was fortunate enough, as far as the theme went, this particular washi tape matched really well with some of the stickers that I had. And I'm looking forward to doing something like this again in my birthday month because, of course, daffodils are like, they come up around my birthday, March, beginning of March. So I'm probably going to do something like this for my birthday page. This is the Wig Note Challenge. James invented a challenge for those of you who write and also participate in the game For the Words, where basically it's like defeat X number of wig nose. Flub bought me a packet of wig nose stickers from For the Words before the game started, and they didn't arrive until like the middle of November because the mail's a shit show. But these are the, see, in For the Words you defeat monsters by writing a certain number of words. It's like World of Warcraft, except all the damage is done by writing. You can even do raids. It's kind of cool. Because I liked them. Yes, I did. They are cute. Right? So I took the sticker that represented that particular type of wigno that was something to defeat in the challenge, and then made a list of the numbers that I defeated. Now, this is, I misread the instructions. James's challenge was initially do 30 between these two types and do 30 between these two types. And I misread it and did 30 of each, right? I added up the word total value. That means that I did 23,640 words worth of work to defeat those particular wignos. Not those cute. You can get those For the Words. I'll probably provide the link to that too. Now, we have something in Game of Tomes called Self-Care Bingo. It's something that the Self-Care Mafia organizes every year, and they track it in, yes, I was not the maddest. The maddest was Angel in Darkness. She's insane. Okay, but this is something that they do to try to get you to take care of yourself properly during the course of November, because it's very easy to get really hyper focused or be like, I've got to get this goal, and not be like, you know, paying attention to the needs of your body or getting enough sleep or whatever, right? So they try to encourage us to do that, and they do that by running the self-care bingo. And if you fill out, I haven't printed out the stickers yet still, but if you fill out a couple of bingos, right, then you get badges in reward for that. And what I'm going to do is print those badges out on more of that sticker paper and put them on the bingo cards for the weeks that I got them. I did really well in the self-care bingo for November. I routinely was getting 2 or 3 bingos, which is kind of stunning for me. The last week I kind of fell off a little bit, but mostly, you know, I still got 2, you know, and I was very proud of myself. So what happened here is that I took their normal bingo card, which they normally put on like a spreadsheet, and I put it into a template in Canva, and following the exact pattern of their bingo card to make sure everything was in the spot it was actually supposed to be for each week, I made these, and then I made them available for people to print out because I wanted them for my journal to fit, so I thought other people might want the same thing. So that is what I did there. See, if you would like to use, again, the Game of Tomes self-care bingo sheets, I can make that resource available as well. So lots of resources will be in the video description when this is posted on YouTube, because I've obviously got a lot that, you know, happy to share. This is a new thing that the Self-Care Mafia did this year. Tiny tasks, right? Do all these little tiny self-care tasks, and then you get rewarded with fedoras. I earned them all. I earned them all. Ha, 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 ha. Right? I love their idea here. Launder the dirty money. Get a clean set of clothes to hide it. Like, that's, you know, that's the kind of joke that they did. It's brilliant. This was done by Bard with Many Names in Xalafan. Right? Because the people who first invented the Self-Care Mafia are foxes in the Game of Tomes lore. I included one of my Minecraft stickers there. I bought the Minecraft stickers because I wanted the zombies, okay? But I also play Minecraft, and, so I thought I'll use them for other things too, so I included the Minecraft fox and little hearts. And these are fireworks, obviously, from the 4th of July stuff in the Happy Planner thingy, but I use them to represent glitter bombs because that's symbolism that, we associate with the self-care mafia, right? So, yeah, and, purple is the framing. This, again, is from a little set of washi tapes that cost about $8 that I got at Michael's. They don't seem to have them there anymore, so I don't know if they're still available, but this is like zodiac constellations, and this is moon phases. So, this is how I kept track of my exercise challenge. Again, I advise you, avoid these big, thick stickers in your journal because you're going to end up with this, right? Even these guys, the Scrabble tiles, were probably a bit much. Use them sparingly, and try not to put them in the same spot. Like, try not to do it all titles. Put stuff on the different spots so it doesn't create bulk in one spot more than it has to. But this was my exercise challenge, and I did do something for it every day, so I get the titanium badge, which I'm going to put there. And obviously this was from the Happy Planner stickers for Thanksgiving. And this was for this is from the fall stickers that I got earlier. It's just a dude hiking. So, and they usually have these like little blank things, right, in the Happy Planner. I don't really know what they're intended for, but I decided that they were cool for keeping track of individual memories. So that is what I did. Last page for November. The brain dump page, which, as you can see, I did not use at all. And again, that's the other thing, right? Experiment. Let it represent what actually is. If you don't use it, you don't use it. And then you've learned something. But maybe you'll use it next time, I just didn't have time to do a lot of stuff that wasn't focused on the writing in free time in November, so I did not try. Yeah, and now that would be December, so we're not going to get into that right now. Quiet conversation today, so I was able to get through this fairly quickly. I've not quite been streaming for an hour yet, so would you guys like me to spend the next 10 minutes doing stuff from, say, the long-term journal that I've started, which is I've just kind of barely gotten started, so there isn't that much to show? Or would you guys prefer that I answer questions for the next couple of minutes? Or do you guys want to just quit? Either way. And let me know what you think of the lighting setup, by the way. I am using a ring light over here on, where is it? I need you to see where my hand is. That way, right? On my side table desk, so that it, makes everything a little brighter. The setup looks really good? Okay, brilliant. Thank you, Satrium. Good to know. Long-term planner, says James. Okay. We can do that. All right, so this is another idea that I got from Joshi Corin. She has what she calls her long-term collections journal. And this is where she puts stuff that she's going to need for more than just a month or two, right? So I decided that this little book, which I don't even know where I got this. I've had this lying around in my house probably for years. It's another lined journal. And you can see it's covered with cat hair because I have cats. But I thought this would be perfect for it because there's not a whole lot that's going to go in here, but I needed something that was a handy reference. Don't worry, I have yet to put the Game of Thrones passwords in here, so I will not be showing those to you. But this came from, yes. Okay, new sticker book. It had a thing on it that said shine bright. which I used in a different, for the start of my 2025 journal, right? And this came from Michael's again, and it cost, I don't know, I think $16 Canadian. And I love it. It's got so many pretty things in it. Like, no, you want to see it this way. Okay, so, like, I'm kind of being careful about how I use them. Michael's, yes. Yeah. A big craft store chain here. You can probably also get them at places like Hobby Lobby and stuff like that. But, aren't they pretty? Just a quick flip through. But that came from, I don't know, there's a middle page here. Where is it? I'm sure I flipped past it. There it is. Okay, so that came from this page here. Right, and I thought this is perfect because I had decided that my long-term journal was going to have a space theme because that is always going to be evergreen for me. You have a Hobby Lobby in the UK? Awesome. Okay, that's great. Yeah, definitely have a look, Flub. Satrium says, I'm also doing 2 journals next year, but I will extract the long-form journaling into a separate notebook because otherwise this one will not last the year. Yeah, valid. Like, as you can see, like, this journal lasted me 4 months, right? It finishes at the end of December, and then I'm going to be starting a new journal for January. And I am including my long-term journaling in, or my long-form journaling in here, so I don't expect it to last the year either. I will have to buy a new one, and I'm okay with that. Right? But you do it any way you want. If you want to do your journal specifically so that, you know, one for a year, that makes a lot of sense. Hey, Rue, good to see ya. Yeah, anyway, I decided on a space theme for my long-term journal because I thought that is always going to be evergreen for me. I always love space and the stars and constellations and stuff like that. I ordered a thing of Galaxy washi tapes, but they have not arrived because the mail, the mail issue. But I will reorder them as soon as I do that, right? Like as soon as the mail is free again. In the meantime, I went and got some, this is loosely it. This is another collection of washi tapes that for the most part, like I've reorganized them now so that different ones are in different containers. But for the most part, this is the container that came from, again, Michael's, and it cost about $30 Canadian. A lot of money, but as you can see, it's really pretty. So, you know, good investment for me because the principle behind this, why put all this money and effort into it? Well, because if it's pretty, then I'm going to use it. If I treat it like an art project, it's going to hold my interest, and I'm going to use the planning. Sable Lapin's first space marine. Hooah! Exactly. Flub says, oh yes, I was going to say, if you couldn't do that, then go to the back of your journal and turn the page upside down. Then you can keep stuff you need in the back. Yeah, exactly. If you were to, like, you know, turn this around and then start here, it's like a whole new book, isn't it? It's a good idea. All right, so, anyway. That's where I got that. In this particular case, now, I haven't finished decorating this page yet. Mostly because I'm holding off until I get some more stickers and I haven't decided what I wanted to do. But in this particular case, because I don't have a standard monthly layout, I am going to need an index. This is something that is part of the bullet journaling method and is recommended, and you put the pages on yourself, right? But so that is what this is for, is to tell me what is in this journal and the page number that I can find it on. So what I have in here so far is Saveopoly, right? We'll talk about Saveopoly in a minute. The Saveopoly record, when we made whatever donation, right? Or save thing. Home improvement projects that I want to do. Swatches of the different pens I have, and important birthdays, right? I'm making a master list of birthdays, so don't forget birthdays. this is fun. This was done, again, bless Joshy Corin for some great ideas. Oh yeah, and as you can see, I used the washi tape as separators, and I did this little constellation theme, and if you know, if you look closely, you can see, there you go, the stars are shimmery metallic, right? They're gold. So Joshy Corin highly recommends a brand of, like she uses them all the time, a brand of markers called Tombow, right? And I happened to walk into my local Staples this time, not Michael's, and saw that they had some Tombow brush markers. These are dual brush markers. The top part is like a brush marker, and the bottom part is like a little liner marker, right? And I went, you know, they're water-based markers, and I went, ooh, okay, right? Joshy Corin uses these all the time. They look nice. Says that they're great. They were expensive. Again, this pack was $30. I will not be doing that every month. I had a bit of a windfall, and I spent some money on this. You don't have to do that, by the way. You can get the highlighters, right? Cheap highlighters at the dollar store do the same thing, but she, you know, I was like, oh, well, what the hell, I'll give it a try. Water-based ink. What I did not realize that was meant by water-based ink is basically this is a watercolor paint in a pen, right? But you can use it for some really pretty stuff. And one of the things that she uses it for a lot is to separate rows. And the reason why she does that is because she tends to use the dot grid bullet journals, which I will try after I have run out of lined journals that I already own. But since my rule was I had to use the journals I had first, that is still going to be a little while. My next journal purchase will be a dot grid, and I'm going to check it out and see if I like it better. But in the meantime, I have these lined journals, right? So, but she needs to create lines because it's a dot grid, right? So if she doesn't make lines, there are no lines. So she uses the Tombow pens to do that. And I liked the effect, so I thought I would give it a try. And as you can see, it worked pretty well. Now, this is a thing that she also suggested, right? This is a tag end of washi tape that I have left over from December. I can't do anything with this. There's just not enough of it. So what I did is I used this the way you can use masking tape, which is to say that I took one piece of washi tape and put it there. Remember, washi tape's just fancy masking tape, right? And then one piece there. They were sticking better at the time, but I saved this specifically to show you guys, right? I'm going to throw it out now, right? Because it's not going to be useful for this anymore. It won't stay in place. But that's what I did, and then made sure that my line with the marker stayed exactly where I wanted it. Although, I will say that if you learn your way with holding the pen, you actually can do pretty decently without using the washi tape and just make a nice straight line. It was, here, a little bit of a preview. I did my month at a glance thing in my January journal, and that's freehand drawn to make it stay within the lines. So, you know, a little less even, but not bad. So that gives you an idea what you can do with those. So yeah, they're cool. They are cool. I see why she likes them. They're expensive, right? Don't spend the money on it unless you know that this is something you're going to do, right? And you're going to be at it for a while, because it's just not worth it, right? Use, like, here's something that might be a bit more within speed. Aaron bought me some presents at one point, and he ordered me a bunch of stuff from Staples, our local, like, stationery store chain, and he got me, like, these are fine highlighter pens. This is Papermate, right? Here's some highlighter Bic pens, right? And here's some Sharpies, right? So I'd guess that this is probably it's more like this. That's probably an order from least to most expensive. I don't know for sure, but that's what the brands typically run, right? And just got this at the local stationery store. Shy. Good to see you. See, now Shy is one of these organized people that I aspire to, okay? Right? Shy says, waves peeking in while I review my commitments for the year, right? And I'm like, yeah, I don't even know what my commitments are at the moment. I'm still in the process of getting my shit together. And she's like reviewing her commitments to make sure that she can still keep up with all the stuff that she's trying to do. Because she is so much more organized than me. We're working on it. I admire that. It's good to see you. Yeah, it's stationery is definitely dangerous. But anyway, these are presents Aaron bought for me. They're much cheaper than Tombow markers. They serve the same purpose. They may not be quite as pretty. This is why I'm trying to figure out what they are, says Shy. You assume too much of me. Well, you're so much more organized than I am, and I admire it, and I'm working on it. This is why we're here. Yeah. All right, Saveopoly. This is a great game. I showed this to people in the first episode because this is something, but basically you have a game board that's designed like a Monopoly board. Every week you roll a 6-sided die. You move along the Monopoly board, you save whatever it tells you to save, right? So like, and because you can set it to whatever you want, but I'm poor, right? So my lowest amount is $5 and my highest amount is $100. But you can do more than that, right? Save weekly and put it aside. I figured $100 a couple weeks in a row, probably we could get away with that and not really notice. But, but sometimes it's much less. So this is how we do it. We're all having a lot of fun with this. And the savings account is going up. One of the cool things is that we recently were able to put aside the money to buy winter tires for the car because of the Saveopoly that we've been doing, right? Proper winter tires. We're getting them put on this week. I'm very proud of us for this. And we still have money in the savings account. So definitely recommend this activity. Oh, thank you, Shy. Shy says, I'm proud of you. You are hitting areas I have not yet. So we are both moving forward well, I think. Awesome. And woot for savings. I couldn't afford £100 a month. Can you adjust it? Yes, you can adjust it to absolutely anything you want, right? The one that I saw, when I initially saw it, went from $50 to $500. And I'm like, yeah, I don't have that much spare cash. There's no way I'm doing that. So I readjusted it so that I could do it, like I said, minimum of 5, maximum of 100, right? So basically, how I would do this were I you. Right? Let me see here. Saveopoly, mini workshop. You start by thinking, what is you could even do pennies if pounds aren't on the cards. Exactly. Even going from like $1 to $10 will add up in the long run. Exactly, right? So what I would do is I would start with what is the most that I think I can get away with saving each week or each paycheck, right? If you're on, say, a limited monthly income, right? Because you're on disability or whatever, right? What is the maximum that I can afford to set aside that I would not find a strain, right? And that's where you start. So, and you put that on your railroads, right? You could do bigger boards too. This is like a miniaturized board. But you put whatever that amount is on your railroads, on your income tax, right? And on your railroads and your income tax, because those are your most expensive properties, right? And then you decide what is the, what are incrementally smaller from there. The blue properties are your next most expensive properties. So for me, with $100 being my maximum, right, I have $50, $75, and $85 on my blues, right? And then the greens are the next most valuable properties. So I have $40, $45, and $50. Then your yellows are, the ones under that. So I have $20, $25, and $30. And the electric company is $75, right? And then for the reds, which are your smallest, I have, $5, $10, and $15. Where did I get the board from? I found a copy of it online. I typed in Savopoly and did an image search. And then I found a couple of different boards. A few people have done this in different ways. You can even buy a pre-arranged board on Etsy, right? And I just kind of looked at it and drew from there. Right? Chance has a few different options on it, right? When you get to chance, you roll another 6-sided die, advance 5 spaces, go to jail, do not pass go, do not collect, right? Go back 3 spaces, subscription, due, save $50, advance to nearest railroad, which of course means you have to save $100 on my board, right? And advance to go, right? Go is give yourself money, right? When you hit go, you're allowed to spend, right? This is kind of your little reward for saving. So, of course, in the standard board, it says collect $200. So that gives you $200 to spend. In mine, I put it to my maximum saving level, $100, because I didn't want to spend more than I was saving, right? So if I land on go, we get to have $100 to just blow on whatever random bullshit we want, right? If you land in jail, you have to save $100, your maximum, and then you can't leave until you roll a 1 to get out. So basically, you're doing $100 until you get out, right? Oh, brilliant, Shy. That's great. Thank you for providing the bigger board. That's wonderful. I will provide. I will put that link in the description of the video too. Oh, and you pinned it. Bless you. Brilliant. Yes, we're going to leave that there because I am going to need that after the stream so that I can put it in the resources. Yeah, we're doing well. This is our track of how we've done, and I believe we now have to roll for week 2 of the family cycle, right? And I've color coded it according to the where we landed, just as a fun thing to keep track of for myself. The sheet in here is what we currently have in the savings account, which is why I'm not showing it to you, because I don't share my financial information on streams. Yeah, Savopoly is great. This is my home improvement list. I'm very proud of my minimalist sort of art there with the little house, but sticker and a little moon sticker, but little stars in the thingy. But I made a list of all the home improvements that I can think of that we want to do, and what our plan is we pick one, decide which is our next priority, and then we start doing the budget, and then we do it, and then when that's done we move on to the next one is the plan. As you can see, I probably have about a decade's worth of work here, but what the hell, right? We've decided that fix hot tub is our current priority, so I have to phone this week to get an estimate of the cost to replace the circulator in the hot tub, because we think that is what is broken. And if we can do that, then we can have our hot tub back, which is cool. We had our hot tub for like 2 months after we moved in, and then it broke. Figures. This is swatches, right? I wanted to, it got to the point where after Aaron bought me all the highlighters, I could no longer keep track of what pen did what. So what I did is, okay, in the case of the Tombow markers, and notice I've left room because there are 2 more sets that are available at Staples that I'm going to get when I have the money to do so. There's one this is all pastels, then there's one that's brights. Then there's like a standard one, which I may or may not get because I'm, eventually, but it's not a priority. And then there's one that's all like browns and coppers and flesh colors and things. And I'm going to, but I've left room for them. They have numbers on the pens. So, right, you can look and it says 761. And then you look and 761 makes that particular soft lapin pink, which I really like and use a lot. So, right. On the other hand, all the other pens, I had to put labels on them myself. And what I did with that is I got those little round price tag stickers that, you can get them at the dollar store too. I had them left over from when I had a store, and that's what I was using them for, was price tags. But they were in my junk drawer, so I took them out and I stuck them to the pens. And in some cases, I had to put a piece of Scotch tape over top of it to make it stick, and made up numbers and designations like MPU, metallic purple, right, is what that stands for, right? And then I made swatches so that I would know what they all look like. So when I want a particular color, I go here and I go, okay, so I want that pink, and then I go pick up that pen, and I know what I'm doing. So, master list of birthdays. And I went ham on the astrological stickers and stuff, and also did these rows with masking tape. I have left myself plenty of room, and because I happened to have astrological symbols individually, I divided them by that as opposed to by month, which screwed me up at least once. As you'll see here, if you look closely, there are stickers that are covering the mistakes that I made because I put things in the wrong place. But it looks nice, and so tell me your birthday, guys, because I'm going to keep track of it so I don't forget anymore. I'm terrible at remembering birthdays. This way, every month, right, when I set up my new cycle, oh yeah, look at that washi tape. Isn't that pretty? That was part of the starry set, right? But yeah, tell me your birthdays, and then that way every month when I do my setup, and I'm setting up my theme, I'll go look and say, okay, so who has January birthdays? So far, I have none in the Capricorn section, and I don't have any in the Aquarius section either. So, but I'm sure I know someone. Just tell me. That's what I have in my long-term journal so far. So, I should have yours. I probably don't. I've probably forgotten it. Please tell me, because, I am shit at remembering birthdays, and that's why I keep track of them there, right? You're January. Okay, well, send me the date in a message, guys. And then I will put it in the journal, and I will never forget again. At least that's the plan. Have to mute. A neighbor came over. Fair enough. I'm at the end of the stream at this point anyway, I think. Thank you very much for joining me. Do you guys have any comments or questions before I call this a day? Otherwise, next time I will show you my December layout, and maybe we will talk about figuring out how to set goals for 2025. Let's did not do well from the Joshi Korn workshop because she said, start with your 2024 goals. And I'm like, I didn't realize I had to have homework done already before I got to this workshop, okay? We should be doing movie night tonight. Yeah, those of you who are part of Game of Tomes, it is Game of Tomes movie night, technically. It should have been last night, but Happy wasn't able to do it. Theoretically, we are doing it tonight. Ooh, Dragon Magpie asked, stewed chicken taco or ground beef taco? I would personally choose the stewed chicken because I never get to eat that. Satrium says, I'm going with the approach of setting a yearly theme, not yearly goals, and then go from there. See, now that makes a lot of sense. There is a lot to be said for having a journal that is one consistent theme. I think that'll look beautiful. I can't wait to find out what it's going to look like with my long-term journal that way. But I also know that the way my ADHD brain works, like I'm already getting bored of my Christmas theme, and I really liked it when I set it out, because that's just my brain. My brain's all excited about January now, and I'm like thinking of changing my February theme from the idea I had to something else. Do what works for you is my point, okay? Do what works for you. If doing a consistent yearly theme, it will give you direction, and you'll, I know it's going to look nice. I know it's going to look great. So cool, Satrium, that you're doing that, right? If that works for you, do it, right? But me, I'm 5, I'm 50 going on 5, and I need to play with it as I go. Not a visual theme, but a year theme. Like the theme of your 2025 will be new experiences. See, now that is cool. To some extent, that's what I've been trying to do with my, uh, visual themes, right? Until I got to the long term journal, right? I've also been trying to consider them as like, experience themes, I guess we'll call it, right? Zombies and fairies, I was doing stuff, getting rid of stuff that no longer served me and celebrating doing things that are whimsical and life affirming, right? In, my harvest theme, I was trying to finish things that needed to get done, and I was like reaping the rewards of the things I already have done, stuff like that. My theme for December was family and togetherness. So I've been making a point of things like trying to keep in better contact with people, right? Reaching out to people I haven't talked to in a long time, getting involved in social stuff, you know. I'm trying, right? So if you haven't heard from me in a while, reach out to me because I'm working on it, Yeah, right? So, yes, I approve of that. I think it's a great idea. Satrium says, for me, keeping it vague is easier than setting hard goals. Yes, because I'm not dragging myself down when I don't manage to achieve the exact goal I set out to achieve. See, this is my thing, right, too. And this is good advice for Chaos Gremlins. Because we do often beat ourselves up and we decide, okay, we're not going to do this anymore because we can't do it, right? But we don't give ourselves enough grace for, a good effort, right? So yeah, aim kind of loosely, Yeah. But Sable, I'm shit at that. Yeah. Flub says, I don't have themes. It's just when I put something in, it'll be illustrated. And that's fine too. If that's what works for you, that's great. That's awesome. Yeah, Shy says, I'll be picking another theme for the year soon. Last year it was MA negative space, leaving room. If I don't talk to people every day, I tend to forget they exist. It is an autism thing. Yes, I have the same problem, right? So what for me, it's not as much forgetting that they exist. It's more forgetting that it's been like, a month since I talked to someone. So what I'm doing is, okay, yeah, I can't wait. Show up next time. I will show you a thing that I am starting that is a rough example of what Joshi Koren calls a contact log, right? And it is, you make a note of who you talk to and when you talk to them and what form that took, so that you can look at it and go, and as long as you keep referring back to it, right? You look at it and you go, oh, geez, I haven't talked to Dragon Magpie in 3 weeks. I should fix that, I'm just starting to learn about it, right? And it, referring back to it is something that I'm trying to do. And thank you for actually pointing out to me that I need to make this a regular feature in my monthly journal. Since I'm still working on my January layout, I will put that in there as well. So yeah, contact log, really useful. I'll show it to you next time. Flub says, I'm the other way. I'm more worried they'll forget I exist. Yeah. No, honey, we're not gonna. Saturn says, I think I'm close to finishing my yearly pages in the journal. Not sure if they'll work like I want to, but I'll try. And hey, that's great. Give it a try. And if it doesn't work, you know what? You can always change your mind, right? You can always go, I'm not using this page. Fuck it. You can always start another journal if the journal you currently have isn't making you happy, right? If you find that it's really not working for you, you can set it up. This is why I am doing things a month at a time, because I'm still in the process of fine-tuning what I want to do. So either way, right? Do what works for you. And yeah, treat it like an experiment. And what happens with experiments? They don't always succeed, right? Sometimes the experiment does not work the way you thought it was going to. That's okay. All right. Love, guys. Thank you very much for joining me. This was fun. We're going back to the lobby now, and I plan on streaming tomorrow at the usual time. So, but it's busy with the holidays, so I kind of got to play it by ear. Oh, thank you, Shy. I hope people are enjoying it. I'm enjoying doing it. Thank you guys for coming and, talking with me about it, because it gives me an opportunity to enjoy something that's become a special interest for me. And, I find it's really helping. So, cool that we get to do it together. All right. Love, gang. Thank you again. And have a great time zone.